Homecoming 2023, all of the fun activities surrounding. Welcome along to the Allen University Athletics Coaches Show. I'm your host, Jasher Cox. Big show for you today. We'll talk, of course, with head football coach Teddy Keaton, whose team is off to a sizzling start, and we'll talk about that big win at Albany State that took place last week, of course, and addressed our upcoming opponent with Edward Waters as we move along in the season. Also, we'll talk with a cross-country athlete in Autumn Clifton, who is a Richland Northeast High School graduate. We'll be back with more.
At Founders Federal Credit Union, we know success is a team effort. We're always cheering for you, side by side, so you can dream big and achieve your goals. Offering products and services that put you in the lead, whether that's helping you buy a car, build your savings, or supporting your community. We're here with the financial support you need. That's teamwork. Score big with Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax with Founders.
There's a hidden gem in downtown Columbia, South Carolina. Are you ready to witness the epitome of grit and passion? Well, welcome to Allen University Athletics. From dazzling plays on the basketball court to the electrifying crowd, we've got tradition and we've got pageantry. Fueled by determination and unwavering spirit, coaches will push everyone's limits, game after game. At Allen University, we believe in the power of unity, teamwork, and resilience. Together, we rise. Be a part of the legacy and experience the thrill of Allen University Athletics. For more information, visit our athletics website at auyellowjackets.com.
And back on the campus of Allen University, we're inside the Rooms to Go studio here on our historic campus. Coach, another thrilling victory. You know, it just seems like hours ago, but honestly, it was last week. And we sat up here and we talked about you feeling validated once you get a victory over one of the blue bloods in the SIAC. And we have several of them, and you thumped one in Albany State. What was that feeling like?
It was a feeling, a testimony of all the work for the kids. I was more proud for my kids. The trials they've been through, the last year was a season of almost. This season, they figured they was going to close the door. And to go to Albany State in an environment that was electrifying, and being able to go in and pull off a win, and being able to stay focused, being that it was their homecoming, being that it was a lot of distractions around the team. And I don't think we've ever played in an environment of that magnitude, and they held it together. So I'm very proud of my coaches, my players, and everybody that was involved with trying to make sure that game was successful.
Do the athletes realize how big of a moment that was, beating a team like Albany State?
I think they realized it after they got back, and all the media and everybody was posting on there that we had won. But I don't think the good thing about us is we're shaping our own culture. If you go into a program where they know all the value of the SIAC, the historical teams, the kids tend to have a historical mindset that this team is usually good, and they may not be better than them, but in their mind they're thinking that, oh, we're supposed to lose to this team, so they don't prepare at that level. But this group here has a mind of their own. They never played, Albany State. They never played Tuskegee. They never played none of these teams, and when they were really good. So to us as coaches, we knew how big it was. But I don't think the players, they just wanted to go out and play football, and that's what they did.
Yeah. And despite that, the victory is big, but you're also a football coach. So
Yeah.
you're going to pick apart the things that didn't actually necessarily get executed. What were some things that you found when reviewing film that you'd like to improve on in the weeks ahead?
I think it's protecting the ball. You know, in the end zone, I think, you know, we cut down on the opportunities to go to the end zone. We was 1-3 down there the week before, so we got down there this time. We was actually 2 for 3, and David threw an interception on the first try down there. So we started putting the ball on the ground a little bit more, and that's kind of worked out for us. And I think that if we can do a better job of protecting us, this was actually a really, really good game for the whole team overall. Special teams contributed, defense contributed, and offense contributed. And I think this was the first time in this season that, as a collectively whole, that everybody came in and did their job.
Let's talk about some of those plays. Some wild sequences took place in that game, and you talk about guys that stood out. Bo Harrington made a reception on the sideline looking like a true wide receiver. Armand does Armand things, makes a one-hand grab in the end zone. And you also had an unintentional, I guess, onside kick, if you will, that hit the backside of a guy on the kick return team for Albany State, which really totally changed the complexities of that game.
Well, when you think about that kick, it was never drawn up or designed to be that way. It was supposed to be a squib down the middle of the field. But the first thing you teach the front line is you got to make sure the ball leaves the tee and kicks off of it. And I think that this time, I guess that's a teaching moment for that guy. He's a true freshman, number 34. He had a great game, but it was a true freshman. He turned his head and the ball hit him dead in his helmet, and bam, it hits the ground. I don't think it, like I said, we didn't just draw it that way. It just happened. CD the ball bounces back to him. We get a recovery and leads to another touchdown, which, you know, I mean, bygones be bygones. I was happy I was on the end of the stick of that, the good end of the stick of that, because in the past we would have probably been on the wrong side of the stick of that.
You've seen some improvements in special teams. Obviously, connecting on extra points has been a concern at times, but it appears as if you guys have gotten over that hurdle.
Well, you know, for 3.5, 4 years, we wasn't lining up to kick a field goal up. So I think it was a learning curve of teaching them how to do it. And we've gotten better and better, you know, as the season has progressed, we've gotten better. Now we just got to get our kicker to understand that now they're going to protect you. They're not going to let, you know, kickers are a little bit finicky sometimes, and they know that they're in the most vulnerable situation when a guy's coming full speed at you and you're kicking your leg and you're not used to it. And CD's a great kicker, got good leg strength, got the whole nine. It's just now him gaining confidence and, you know, going out and just executing what he has to do.
Yeah. Got some punts that's been in the air, hanging in the air for a while and giving you guys better coverage. Talk about that side of the ball of special teams, particularly your punter giving you guys a chance to make a play.
The same case there. He's a guy that was a DB. That just wasn't really good, but we just watched them one day and they were out warming up and he just, boom, the ball came across and it was just punt pretty. Yeah. And next thing we know, we had the issue of trying to protect him first and him getting confidence knowing that I got to get protected back there. This year we've gained that confidence that he's going to be protected, and now he boosts the ball really well, and I'm proud of him because we didn't really have a place for Damir on this team. Dahill is his brother who plays the corner, who's pretty good at it. And Damir was kind of like the guy, I'm the tag-along guy. Yeah. So he was able to create value for himself as a punter by somebody walking out on the field one day and seeing him boot the ball, and now he's right up in there with everybody else. I think he's averaging around 29, 30-some yards a kick, and that's pretty good. And his hang time allows us time to go down and be able to cover the punt.
Let's take a quick break, and we'll be back. We'll talk a little bit more about what's going on the defensive side of the ball. Back with more.
At Founders Federal Credit Union, we know success is a team effort. We're always cheering for you, side by side, so you can dream big and achieve your goals. Offering products and services that put you in the lead, whether that's helping you buy a car, build your savings, or supporting your community. We're here with the financial support you need. That's teamwork. Score big with Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax with Founders.
I think my images truly portray dynamic women, like being bold, being fearless. Growing up, I did not see what I wanted to be. There was just a lack of Black women, business owners, entrepreneurs, creatives. That's how I just started taking pictures. And from there, I figured out that I wanted to be a photographer for women of color. It takes a village to be a Black woman, to live and survive as a Black woman. It takes support. I found my niche and I'm sticking to it.
Each year, the South Carolina Education Lottery raises millions of dollars for scholarships and grants that help students prepare for their dream career, just like Kristen.
There's a hidden gem in downtown Columbia, South Carolina. Are you ready to witness the epitome of grit and passion? Well, welcome to Allen University Athletics. From dazzling plays on the basketball court to the electrifying crowd, we've got tradition and we've got pageantry. Fueled by determination and unwavering spirit, coaches will push everyone's limits, game after game. At Allen University, we believe in the power of unity, teamwork, and resilience. Together, we rise. Be a part of the legacy and experience the thrill of Allen University Athletics. For more information, visit our athletics website at auyellowjackets.com.
Coach, defensively, some improvements that we've seen, particularly on the defensive line. Those guys have been causing all kinds of havoc of late.
I'm proud of them. I think the move that we made with Caleb going down to D-line was a big move. I think Art moving the nose guard was another big move. Sherman moving down to the boundary tackle was another big move. And I think Coach Cole did a really good job of identifying this in the spring of this year and moving those guys around. And it's paid dividends for us.
Let's talk a little bit about Art with the ultimate hat trick, the strip, sack, and the fumble recovery. Pivotal play. Obviously, when it took place in the game, I told him if he could add the other layer to it, which was scoring, after he picked up the fumble, and he's like, well, I was too tired to run that far anyway. But let's talk about some of the strides that you've seen with Art and talk about that play particularly and how much it affected the game.
I think that Art's playing at the best he's played. I mean, he didn't get much. He was a very silent player last year playing the boundary tackle. But when we moved in the nose, his athletic ability, it makes it difficult to block a guy like him. Albany State had a guy just like him, number 9, that I think Coach Cole had in mind of him playing like that. And that particular play, the nose had to make a decision because his gap was covered. So he had a guy over him, a guy in the gap. So either way it was going to go, he was going to be wrong. So if he chose the latter and went to the guard, the boundary tackle, and Art came through free. He goes, he strips the ball, and he sacks the quarterback. He strips the ball, and he gets on top of it. And it was a pivotal play at that time because they were in scoring position to be able to tie the game up or either go ahead of us at that time.
And so competition makes everybody better, and it's so competitive in that space. How much, due to the competition, how much has that had something to do with the improvement that you've seen overall on the defense?
I think our O-line and our D-line go against each other every day, which is kind of iron sharpening iron. Because of our quickness on the D-line has made our offense have to play a little bit faster up front, make the O-linemen they like cattle. They all just want to be, together. But now with the movement that goes on the D-line, it makes our linemen got to play with their heads up, play with their feet, move their body, and it's created an opportunity for us to be better as an O-line unit and also make them better because they have to defeat those blocks every day.
Let's talk about the remaining schedule. One could argue that the last 3 games here, you could be down. We call it A-man corner at another school I used to attend, but you arguably could be facing the 3 best teams left in the league. There's a case for it in Miles College, obviously Benedict, and Edward Waters. Your thoughts on how do you finish that year out?
Well, I think we started with Albany State. That was the first of the best 4 teams that was left in this game. So we've started that trek there. We're taking it one game at a time. They are good. Miles has a really good football team, a really good defense, really good offense, a lot of special players in certain areas. And I don't like to get too far ahead with Edward Waters and those guys. It could be epic. You know, the next 3 games could be the most epic time of our lives. And we got to take them one game at a time, and we have to be prepared, and we're going to come in and we got to give them their best shot. And the hardest part about it, 3 of those games are at their facilities. And the hardest thing in any conference, I don't care where you play, any level of football, is to go on the road and play good teams in their environment where they got a good night rest and they there, they got their fans. You know, I love the fact that at Albany State we talked about we had to start fast, which previously we haven't started fast. But when you go into environments where there's like the blue bloods of the conference, they're really good and their fan base is there and they cause havoc, then they got their band playing. So we had to silence the bands and everybody else, and we're going into another environment where the band plays a significant role, the fans are going to be there, and the stadium is so visible. You can see the tailgating while you're down there coaching and playing that you can easily get distracted about the thing. So we're working on these opportunities to tell them to focus in on the things they control and try to silence them early.
Yeah, and so, you know, I like your approach with that. But, you know, I want to talk a little bit about Miles College to people that don't know. Fairfield is not a stranger to you. So essentially you're going back to a place that you once called home. I know you have a ton of fans, Alabama native. What does that game mean to you?
It means a lot. I mean, to beat Miles is they're going to be physical. I told my kids, I said, one thing they call themselves, you know, the dirty MC. And they call it that way because it's the trap. You're going into the trap and they're going to put it on you. They're going to put their claws in you. They're going to try their best to make you quit. And I said, we got to match their physicality. We got to play fast, and we can't make many mistakes because they're going to make opportunities off those mistakes. I think it's a great opportunity for our kids. I think it's a great chance. I think the kids are up for the challenge. I'm an Alabama guy. I mean, that's where I'm from. My mom's going to be there. You know, my friends from college, they're going to be there. You know, everybody, former teammates that played at Miles, they already calling and texting me that during my tenure of coaching there. And, you know, I had to ask them one question: who you pulling for? And they said, Coach, we love you, but we got to go with our alma mater. But, you know, I understand that. And I have a space in my heart for Miles College, just like I got a space in my heart for Allen University. So tonight we're going to be Allen University and the Yellow Jackets, and we come in this thing, baby.
That's right. I love it. Let's talk about some of the, you know, it's easy to assume that there'll be a drop off when you lose a guy like Reginald Ruffin, who honestly built the program in many ways. But this is no shot at all to Sam Shade. He's done an amazing job since his tenure and his arrival there.
Sam Shade is a good football coach, honestly. I mean, they could have found a greater guy. He took Pinson Valley to the state championship game. I knew when they hired him he was going to get it to where it needed to be. I think we both living that Cinderella season right now. We went from worst to first, and we're playing each other, and we got to figure out who got better faster. And I love what they're doing. I love the talent that he's been able to recruit. And in places like Miles, you have to develop talent. You don't always get all the best of talent. So that shows as a coach that you're doing a great job of developing those kids, getting them to play with good habits and play well. I think he's done a tremendous job thus far. And, you know, we got our work cut out for us.
Let's fast forward a little bit here, you know, as we start the week of homecoming. Homecoming in the black college environment, it's a staple. It's a must. It's a big thing. And we're trying to build a culture here to bring former alums and former players back. It'll get even greater once we have our own place to play. But for now, we've made Westwood our home. And last year was the first time that I really started seeing people buy in. The tailgating was amazing last year, and I know you're looking forward to seeing some of these people come.
I mean, with the wins that came this year, I'm sure everybody wants to come see the show. And if the win comes this weekend and both teams got great tasks ahead of us, that game could be epic. And you got 2 of the top quarterbacks, 2 of the top receivers. Coach Morgan's done a tremendous job with his group down there. It could be an epic ball game. Usually that game would not be your homecoming game. It would be a separate game in itself. The AME Classic, homecoming. What else better environment? We haven't won the commission. I mean the Bishop's Cup since I've been here. And I would like to be able to hand my president and the bishop that cup at some point in time. But, you know, that's going to be amazing. That's going to be epic.
Well, you talk taking down a blue blood, you talk that into existence. So hopefully you can do the same thing. I know that matters to a lot of people here. Edward Waters has got a very good program, a dynamic institutional leadership, and I know they're talking as well in Jacksonville, Florida. We don't have a whole lot to talk about, so we won't be talking back. We're just going to be a hospitable host here, and they can have everything they want except hopefully the victory.
Victory. That's what we want. That's what we're working for. I'm like I said, they're doing a tremendous job down there. They're coming off a great victory against Tuskegee, historical, just like we just did. So at the end of the day, it's going to be epic. I'm saying homecoming this year, I think it's going to be one for the books. So whether you're coming for the tailgating, whether you're coming for the festivities, or whether you're coming to watch the game, I hope that we can give you the best of your homecoming experience in 2023.
You know, our fans have been super supportive via social media. If you pay attention, some of them just made appearances on campus and just wanted to say hello and check out the vibe and things of that nature. What has it meant to you to see so much support?
The hugs. You're doing a great job. Yeah. Everybody needs to be told that sometime. We went from worst to almost first. And I'm proud of the kids, the coaches, the players, you, Dr. McNeely, the people that supported. You know, we got people coming out of the woodworks. I was on a podcast the other day, and a guy interrupted and said, there ain't a lot of losing going on Hardin Street over there. So, you know, I think for the city of Columbia, with the things that Benedict's doing, the things that Allen doing, is one loss between two teams that's setting up another possible epic game. I think it's just for SIAC football, for the city of Columbia and everybody else. I think it's a great opportunity for us to be able to come together and have good football play.
For Coach, happy homecoming week. We want you to enjoy the week as much as you can. I know you don't get a chance to experience the festivities because you're preparing for the ultimate event, but good luck this coming Saturday.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
We'll be back with more.
At Founders Federal Credit Union, we know success is a team effort. We're always cheering for you, side by side, so you can dream big and achieve your goals. Offering products and services that put you in the lead. Whether that's helping you buy a car, build your savings, or supporting your community, we're here with the financial support you need. That's teamwork. Score big with Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax with Founders.
Back out on the campus of Allen University, and now I'm joined with Autumn. Autumn is a cross-country athlete here participating in the fall and a mid-distance runner once we get to indoor, outdoor, track and field. Pleasure having you here. Thanks for joining us.
It's nice to be here. Thank you.
You definitely have the coolest name among student athletes for sure. How did that come about, and does it mean anything for you?
Well, I was born in the autumn, so my mom just named me Autumn.
Nice. I love it. I love it. So let's talk a little bit about your cross-country season so far. I was able to attend one cross-country meet that was out in Casey on the golf course, but how's the season gone for you so far?
It was a little bit difficult to begin with because of the distance, but I do feel that over time I've been cutting down on the numbers and working harder, and we have this conference meet coming up, and I know that I can at least break another 2 minutes below. I feel like possibly.
Yeah, so what is your goal specifically, and how do you achieve such in terms of trimming down minutes? It's easier said than done. I know we can sit here and say we want to, but man,
Right.
cross country is really difficult. What is your process in terms of trying to shave off some of your minutes?
First thing that I do is when I'm running, I'm making sure that I'm watching my watch. I like to stay around a 750 average mile, and then if I feel that I can push it a little farther to shave off the minutes, then I'll push for maybe 720 and so on, and then I see how far and how long I can hold that, and that's usually where it gets me.
Well, I'll tell you that the starting for me would be pushing back from the table and eating less, and so that's why I was never able. So you're a Columbia, South Carolina native, is that right? I know you attended Richland Northeast. Is this home for you?
It is. I've been here about 8 years now. My mom is a retiree of the military, so this is where we ended up.
Yeah. So what was your time like at Richland Northeast?
It was, I mean, this is my second cross-country season, so it's rounding up a little bit around the same, but I did cut a good 20 seconds from my PR in high school.
So I'll always like to ask student athletes the same question. How did you hear about Allen University? I know you've been in the area, so it's easy to know about the school, but how did the connection start between you and Coach Bodrick?
I was looking for schools in the area to join with, and so I put my application in at Allen, and I marked that I was interested in cross country, and that's where she connected with me and made the phone call.
Yeah. So how do you transition yourself? Because as you mentioned, the cross country SIC championship is slowly approaching, but once that's over with, you'll start to migrate to indoor, outdoor. How do you prepare yourself for each of those seasons, and what's the biggest difference?
I believe the biggest difference would have to be the distance and how much mileage that we're doing, and making sure that we're adding the speed training in it, because right now it's more of endurance based.
Yeah. And so Jackie Robinson is another guy that's on the cross country coaching staff. He's also the football team's offensive coordinator. How much have you learned from him?
I've learned a lot from him. He's definitely been a big push. He doesn't really let us let up on those workouts. He's always making sure that we're not cutting corners with things.
Right. And cutting corners obviously is important to stay away from that. So in your mind, if you want to continue to achieve those goals that you have set out for yourself, what is it going to take for you to execute it?
It's really a mental thing overall. So just making sure that I'm constantly positively affirming that I can do it and that I'm more than capable.
I believe you. She sold that really well. This is Autumn. I'm Jasher Cox. We'll take a break and we'll be back with more. As we mentioned, this is the final segment, and of course it's homecoming week 2023 for Allen University, and we can't wait to see all of the fun activities surrounding and the alums coming back to campus. I want to show you the week slate of events that we've got set for you, so make sure you stop by and visit us here on 1530 Hardin Street. Plenty of actions going on here on the campus. My time is up. Thank you for yours.